Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Tami, the creator of the blog and this YouTube channel called Nutmeg Notebook. And this is where we share with you all about our whole food, plant-based lifestyle. And we've been gone for 3 weeks, so we're so happy to be back today. And we're so glad that so many of you are already here. We see that the chat feed is going pretty good. And we want to thank Randy and Jesse for being here and moderating for us. And I didn't see Tiffany yet. She may or may not be able to show up today. So we want to thank them so much for volunteering for us. My husband, Tom, is just doing a couple last minute little things. Hello.
I'm doing sound check. I'm getting my earbuds ready.
Okay, good.
I want to make sure that you're not too loud or that I'm too soft.
Oh, wow.
Or
it's dangerous for a husband to tell his wife she's too loud.
I want to make sure I can hear you well.
That's it. There you go.
Okay.
I like that a whole lot better.
All right. So I'm gonna finish this little chore while she continues.
Okay. Well, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping here. So you're welcome to ask questions if you would like in the chat feed. We just ask that you would preface the question with 4 question marks and end with 4 question marks. That just helps those questions pop out at Tom because the chat gets pretty busy and it scrolls by pretty fast. So if you would do that, that would be very helpful. And I'm going to need to ask Tom to put a picture up for me. We're going we know there's been a lot of mystery. We've gotten emails and messages from many of you asking, are you guys okay? Where are you? So we're going to let you guys figure out where we've been.
Yeah, we were fine. We were just far away. So here's where were we? Oh, that's the wrong button.
This would be like, where's Waldo? But instead of Waldo, it's where's Tom and Tami?
Where is this?
Where is this?
So that's the first look. And then a quick second look would be this one. Where is that? That is actually from the top of our hotel building.
Yes,
that photo.
Somewhere.
So now I'm going to jump back to comments and see if people have sorted it out.
Anybody guessing? Or are they so busy chatting they're not paying attention? That could be.
I don't know.
No, but if somebody said Vegas. No, it wasn't Vegas. Shall we tell them?
John Warren got it. Congratulations, John.
Oh,
He's saying
John.
Greece.
Way to go, John. That's right.
Yeah, that was the Parthenon, and John spotted it. So
he did.
See, wisdom has its merits.
It does.
John's very wise.
Is he?
Yes. So good for him.
Yeah, that's great, John. Yes, that is where we went. And so do you want to tell them how that happened? How we ended up in Greece?
It was a sudden opportunity that was really something we needed to let loose of our framework of always being in this fixed bubble thing and go out in the world. So we went out in the world very safely, but our friend and travel agent, Lisa McCarl, did alert us to a unique opportunity to jump on a COVID bubble cruise on a little bit of short notice. That's why we and you didn't know that we were leaving. But in just a week's time, we put it together and filled a vacancy that suddenly came up. Mm-hmm. And so thank you, Lisa, for that prompt and allowing us to seize that opportunity. So yeah, we jumped on the plane and got ourselves to Greece and got on this ship. And the parameters were, it was, all vaccinated crew, all vaccinated customers on the ship.
We tested negative before
all kinds
we
of
went.
tests, test before when you get off the ship, you get tested. Before we come back to the United States, we had to get tested. There was a lot of testing going on. So I know I'm now very smart because I'm well tested.
I think we've been tested about 5 times at this point now.
Yeah.
So but anyway, we had a wonderful time. And in a few minutes, we're going to bring Lisa on with us and also Wanda. And we're going to share with you all about traveling on a whole food, plant-based, SOS-free lifestyle and how you can do it and have an absolute blast. while you're doing it and not have to worry about the food. So you're going to show them our shed.
This was our home away from home. And this little orange thing is the little ferry thing that on some of the islands got us to land. That was always a fun treat. But this is a beautiful, it's a very large very large yacht or a very small ship. I'm not sure how to categorize that exactly.
Yeah, so this is the Windstar Star Legend. And this was our second cruise. And we absolutely loved it. The first time we went was on a really large cruise with about 4,000 people. And this one was much smaller, more intimate. And all of the crew, like magically, they like knew our names. And it was just such an amazing experience. It was like we were cruising with family and friends. And it was just so much fun. So Tom's going to show you, we did some prep ahead of time. And he's going to show you here what we packed in our carry-on to take with us. So for that first day, I did prep salads for us, and I made hummus and I froze it. And then I made our muffins. And of course we had veggies and things like that. We took some oats with us. I even dehydrated some hummus. It was the first time I had
this little
done
one in
that.
the middle. Is that the one that we ate on the way home?
Well, I had two of them, and
Okay.
that was one of them.
Yeah.
And because I wanted us to be able to have some, nourishing food on the way home. I wasn't exactly sure what we were going to eat on the way home. I hadn't had that figured out yet at that point. So I wanted to take some things that we could, keep with us because we were gone for 14 days. And still have something at the end that we could bring home.
Yeah, because the airplane didn't have really much of anything for you.
No, because
because of your gluten intolerance. And I did eat a couple of the little vegan sandwiches, but they were little.
Yeah, they were like snacks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a little bit of pre-planning. This is us having our salads that first day. That was in the airport. I made the chickpea croutons, the garlic chickpea croutons. I made extra, so we actually had some even when we got on the ship. I wished I had made double what I had made so that we would have had some left for the trip home.
You saved us so much money. That would have cost us $20 at the airport.
It's true. And
Doesn't
of
that look
course,
like a meal?
we took our travel size vinegars with us as well. And those can go in your carry-on because they're 3 ounces. This is us on the plane. So the hummus will go through TSA as long as it's frozen. And if it's not frozen, oftentimes they will confiscate it. But if it's frozen, they will allow it to go through. And so by the time we were ready to eat, it had thawed out. We took some Mary's Gone crackers with us as well. And we were perfectly satisfied with that because we knew that we weren't going to be able to get anything on the plane.
These, what are those?
Cucumbers, Persian cucumbers.
Those were so refreshing on the plane.
They were.
With the dry air. And then the food kind of rolls into here.
Let's bring on Lisa and Wanda at this point, I think. So ladies, you can unmute yourself.
And I'm going to switch up our view here so we can see you.
And so we have 2 guests with us today, and we have our travel agent extraordinaire, Lisa McCarl. She is from McCarl Travel LLC. And if you want to go on vacation and have an absolute blast and not have to worry about anything, travel with her, because we were so fortunate to be able to travel with her and do excursions with her.
Or have her arrange your travel. She can't go on everybody's vacation.
Well, I want her to. When we go on vacation, I want
traveling.
And then
that was a thing a couple of times when I was talking to people and they would say, well, how did you learn about this? Chris says, oh, from our travel agent. And they, who's that? What agency do you use? I says, that one right over there.
And then we also have our friend Wanda Huberman with us. She is the executive director for the NHA, the National Health Association, which you guys have heard us talk about time and time again. And they also put out the publication of the Health Science magazine. So ladies, welcome to our show today.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
so good to
you.
have you here. And the reason we have them here is because they are planning some more whole food, plant-based cruises. And so we want to share with you guys about it because we oftentimes get asked about how do you go on vacation and still maintain eating healthy? How do you do that?
Yeah, much of our information will apply to any ideas for any kind of vacation.
Yes.
But we have these like ready to rock and roll opportunities coming up. And so, yeah, we want to share
That's
about
right.
that.
So first of all, I want to ask Lisa, how did you get into doing plant-based travel? That's such a little niche.
Yes, and I want to say it was wonderful traveling with you both. We really had a great time, and we had a few other plant-based people in our group, and it went very, very well. And I've been a travel agent about 20 years. And prior to that, I was an open heart recovery nurse. So I combined my passion for travel and wellness. And but I hadn't organized plant-based groups yet. And that happened when I went to an NHA conference and saw how well Wanda did providing incredible food for 400 people. And I approached Wanda, and she did not know me. And I approached her and said, well, this is what I do. And I never wanted to do plant-based travel until I met you and saw what you could do. And so I said, do you want to work together? And we have.
That's fantastic. And I can tell everyone that because I know you both pretty well now, they are planners to the 10th degree. So they think of every possible situation that could happen, and they are prepared for it. They're extremely organized and detail oriented. And so, you know, if you're going to an event that they have been part of planning, that it's going to be extraordinary. And so I just admire both of you so much for your ability to pull this off. It's amazing what you do.
Thank you.
And so the two of you working together, that's just got to be fantastic because you both are so worried about the details. So that it's a great partnership. So you've already done some plant-based cruises. So you have a couple under your belt. When you have those, do you invite any speakers to those?
We haven't, and it's mostly an opportunity to enjoy travel, explore the world, not worry about food, and learn from each other. Wanda, I'll pass it to you.
Right. So we have our NHA conferences that are loaded with speakers, and that is the experience for education and networking. And so many of our members had let me know, and now they've let Lisa know they want travel, and they just want active fun. And they want to do it with like-minded people, and they don't want to have to worry about any of the arrangements. So this cruising has been fantastic.
Yeah, and I have to agree with them because that's what I want to do too. I want to be able to go on that event also with the like-minded people and not be working. I want it to be like a real vacation, which it was. Why cruising instead of land travel?
Well, with cruising, you can have the same chef in multiple destinations. So you get to explore without having to try to train or educate multiple chefs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you were trying to do a land travel trip, you'd be having to deal with restaurant after restaurant after restaurant.
Exactly.
And that gets very cumbersome and difficult to do. What can you talk about the groups that you're currently booking?
Yes, I'll start and then I'll turn it over to Wanda. We have 3 cruises for 2022 and 2023. In April of 2022, we're planning Baja, and that is a wonderful opportunity to go to the Baja and the Sea of the Cortez and experience wildlife. And it is also on the Windstar. I found that small ship cruising is best with plant-based diet, especially with our SOS-free requests. And so that one's going to be fabulous. We have Alaska in August of 2022, and then we have Galapagos with Lindblad Expeditions and National Geographic in February of 2023.
That sounds amazing. Well, Tom and I are on the Alaska cruise already.
Yes.
We're happy to say, but you do still have openings for that one.
I think we have 3 openings as long as there's still space on the ship. If the ship sells out before we fill, the Windstar, we're going to be traveling on the Star Breeze for both of our cruises, which is a sister ship to the ship we were on, the Star Legend. And it holds a maximum of 312 people, but they are not booking to full capacity. So it's a little bit tricky. I just am never sure if it was, probably more than 90% full. So we're hoping to have some space. And I believe we have 3 spots. They capped our group at 65 staterooms, which is huge.
Okay.
It's their largest group in history.
Right. And Lisa, can we say one of the reasons they capped our group is because after we've met with them several times, had lots of conversations, is they probably are worried about having enough produce for more than that number of people.
Yes, yes.
So can you talk, Wanda, you and Lisa, I know are doing a lot of preparation for putting together a plant-based cruise. Can you talk about what's going into that? What are you doing?
Right. So we've been having regular phone calls with management at Windstar, and Lisa's been lucky enough to be on a couple of cruises to actually work with the chefs directly. And we just talk about requirements. We share recipes. They ask me questions, and it's a yes or no. And I just have the opportunity to really do what you said, Tami, with details such as, we want mushrooms on a salad bar, but we want them cooked, or we want flaxseed, but they have to be ground, or we want beans, but they have to be well cooked. And then always, whether I'm working with the chefs at the hotel for our conference, or Lisa and I are talking with Windstar or Lindblad, getting them to understand the volume of food that we might eat at a salad bar is, I can label out and list absolutely every ingredient that would be great on a morning salad bar or an evening salad bar. But if they don't have the volume we need, it doesn't matter. You need volume, you need quantity, and you need quality.
Right.
And so
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm feeling pretty good about our conversations. They've been very open. I've talked to other places, and it doesn't take long to know when you're not being heard or they're shutting down, that it's too much information. And I'm not feeling like that with Windstar at all.
Right. Or Lindblad. And we haven't even really gotten into the depth of food planning with them. Some of the challenges we'll face, Tami, are logistics and space in terms of there really isn't a large enough salad bar area on the Star Legend or Star Breeze. And so our meeting in 2 weeks is going to talk about, okay, logistics, what do we need to do? And how can we make it happen? And right now with the pandemic, they're serving salads rather than having people do self-serve salad bar. So that may slow things down. So those are the things we're trying to look at the logistics and say, how can we make this work very smoothly?
Right. Yeah. They really need to work on the salad bar for sure. Have you shown them pictures of like plates of food that people who eat like us eat so they can see like the quantity?
I have. I've shown them pictures from our conference food. I think we have a little highlights video of the last conference of people going through the salad bar, and they've had the opportunity to see that.
I think we ought to show them again Wanda,
Right.
some of those plates. I think that would be a great thing to show.
Right.
Yeah, I do too. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So, we have some people in the plant-based community who are in what we call mixed marriages. They might be plant-based and their spouse is on the standard American diet.
Yes.
So can that be accommodated if a couple like that wants to go on one of these plant-based cruises?
Absolutely. And especially with the Windstar accommodating 312 guests, our group is not going to fill the ship. And in fact, we're not going to be the majority of the ship. So absolutely, we do have several couples who have, the husband might be a pescatarian or the wife might eat something different. And we will try to accommodate any dietary preferences. For the Lindblad, that holds less than 100. And we've booked 2/3 of the ship so far for 2023. And we're really hopeful that that will be completely plant-based. But then there is the possibility that it may not be. And I should start keeping a list of people who would like to go and would go if we allowed them to bring a non-plant-based eater.
Okay, that's good to know. So let's talk about onboard activities to participate in, because most of the people who eat like we do, they're like really physically active. And so, what can they do on a cruise? And on those days where we're not pulling into a port to be able to get off and go for an excursion?
Well, there's on the Star Breeze and Star Legend, there's the perimeter of the ship has a walking, you can certainly do walking, but it is a small ship. So you're going to do a lot of laps. There is a gym. It's really up to you to decide how you want to be active. I mean, I calculated that in our 10-day cruise, we did well over 100,000 steps. So I perceive the excursions as your opportunity to get out and be super active. On the Baja trip, it is very likely that we'll be able to use the sports platform on the ship, and it has paddleboard and kayak, and we didn't get to use that much in Greece because we were out seeing the sights. And it was windy also while we were there. So I don't know that they opened the sports platform. They have certain parameters that they need to adhere to.
And there were a couple of classes too there, that they offered that you could do, but because it is a small ship, the class size was limited to that. But one person that was in our traveling with our group, she did her yoga in her room in the mornings. And so the wonderful thing about our rooms is they were very luxurious. They were very roomy. And so there was room to just slide the coffee table over and have plenty of floor space if you wanted to do some exercise in your room or some yoga or meditation, and so that was really nice. And because they kept our fruit bowl full the whole time.
Yes.
You had a little snack there, you didn't even have to go up for breakfast yet if you wanted a little piece of fruit. Do you want to talk about the different types of excursions that are offered when you do pull into port?
Well, those are really destination based. And so the excursions for Alaska are going to be very different than the historical sites we saw in Greece. So for our cruise, every town had an old town, seemed to have a town wall, monasteries, and then of course there were the archaeological sites. So that was phenomenal. And the history was at times a little overwhelming to try to keep track of the timeline, BC, AD. But it was fabulous. So we stretched our brains as well. And then, of course, for the person who didn't want to do an excursion in Greece, Greece allows people to disembark the ship and walk around town. So, and that depends where you are. That is at this time during the pandemic, that is destination dependent. So we did have that a fair amount in Croatia as well. But when we were in the Caribbean, we did not have that. And so we had to stay we had guides. And one day I asked the guide if she could take us for a hike. And I said, I'd like to climb to the top of this park and see the view and get a little exercise. And she was very amenable. So there are times when there will be opportunities for biking. There's times for hiking. And then, of course, in Greece, there were lots and lots of steps.
Oh, there was. I mean, some days we had between 25 and 30 flights of stairs on our Apple Watches.
Yes.
It was incredible. I mean, we were really tired at the end of the day.
Well, it was great.
Yeah, it was wonderful because we just felt like we got a lot of great exercise in. So what's the best way if somebody is interested in one of these cruises? What's the best way for them to contact you? Who do they contact and how would they get started?
Well, I would start them at the NHA website, and that's healthscience.org. And you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and click the all events link. And it has the 3 cruises plus the NHA conference for next June. And then I invite people to email me and I can send additional information. My email is lisa.mccarl@gmail.com. And that is also on the NHA website.
And I believe if you look in the show notes underneath the video, Tom has all of those links listed there as well, just to try to make it easier for you. And at this time, let's have Tom look and see if we have any questions right now. And
let's see.
oh, somebody wants to know if they can teach aerobics on the ship.
Yeah, vegan mentor. Is that so? Yeah, anything like that, or if your possibility of you going on a cruise and being involved, let's direct that to Wanda or Lisa.
I don't see where it would be a problem if we had a group that wanted to exercise together and went out on the deck. They also do have aerobics classes that they offer. So it wouldn't be a paid experience, but if someone said, hey, I'm going to bring my yoga mat, feel free to bring your mat and join me on deck. It might be a little chilly in Alaska for that. But it should work for Baja. And I haven't checked out all the exercise facilities on the Lindblad ship. It's newly refurbished.
Okay.
And Lisa, go ahead, Tom.
A question from Graham. Would you consider a cruise without a single supplement? MSC has hosted vegetarian cruises in the past. Well, there are the holistic holiday at sea cruises to look at as another alternative for this kind of thing. The Windstar cruises, I would say, are different, and the ships are smaller, the ports are more niche. You get into places where you can't necessarily get with a really big ship. I don't know what camera I'm looking. I'm at this one. Sorry. So we enjoyed our MSC cruise in the Caribbean. Packed with all kinds of plant-based lectures and stuff. The Windstar thing is a little bit different kind of animal with regard to that. So somewhere
it was much
somewhere
more
in the
of a
decade
vacation.
do both.
So with the Windstar cruise, there are not solo supplements offered. However, with the Lindblad Expeditions Galapagos trip, we have 4, maybe 5 solo cabins left. So that I was really surprised because we get a lot of requests for solo travel, and people end up meeting other people and booking a room together, a stateroom. But with Lindblad, they do have a fair number of solo cabins. So the answer is absolutely yes. I always hope to find it. With the plant-based SOS-free diet, we are limited in terms of the companies who will accept our groups. I always branch out, and I work with a lot of managers of a lot of travel suppliers, cruise companies. For example, Regent has turned me down with a plant-based group without added salt, oil, or sugar. They just said we cannot accommodate that. There are other cruise lines that have turned us down. So Windstar has just done a fabulous job, and they're so willing to work with us and to modify as we go.
Well, I have to say that I was super impressed because Lisa and I met with Chef Neelish, who is the executive chef on the Windstar cruise that we were on for Greece. And, not only did we present him with, we need vegan and SOS free, but then I had to throw in, and I'm also gluten-free.
Here's our first meeting
And
with Chef.
yeah,
Neelish.
here he is. Here we are. We met with him.
Staying with the protocol.
And we met with him more than once. And he was like, anything that you need, just come to the desk and tell them that you need to speak with me. And he went out of his way to accommodate. And I was the only one that was gluten-free, but he went out of his way to accommodate my dietary restrictions. It was just amazing. And when we would pull into different ports, he would get off the ship and he would go shop for our meals.
Right. It is difficult to provision some of the things that we request. And we were last minute jump on the ship. So, but even with our request months ahead, there will be some things that they have difficulty provisioning.
Oh, absolutely. But even so, knowing that, he didn't have much warning that we were coming, and he still put together fabulous meals for us. And I put together some collages. I made too many of them. Tom won't let me show all of them, but we're going to highlight some of them so that people can see how amazing the food was. So colorful, so creative, beautifully presented, which is what you expect on a cruise, because for a lot of people, it's about the food. Now, this food here, this was a day that we were on an excursion, and the excursion included having a meal at a Greek restaurant. And so the ship contacted the restaurant ahead of time on Tom's and my behalf and requested that they make us an SOS-free, gluten-free meal. And they did a beautiful job. This food was gorgeous. We had grilled vegetables, and then they took tomatoes and stuffed these beautiful tomatoes and roasted them. And then they had these gorgeous peppers that they stuffed. They were stuffed with rice and onion and mushrooms. And they were just amazing. And so, not only did they take care of us when we were on the cruise, but they also took care of us when we were on land. Because, it was one of their sponsored excursions. And so we really felt pampered by that they did that. I had some things in my purse just in case, which of course we didn't need. So that was fantastic. Do you have another food picture to show, Tom?
How about the desserts?
Well, the desserts were amazing. And here we are at one of our meals, a beautiful salad. Like, they created the most beautiful salads for us at dinner time every night. They were a little bit different each time. He made beautiful oil-free dressings.
And that was
for us.
Nanda.
That was Nanda, our server. She took such good care of us. She knew all of our names. She knew what our personal preferences were. And let's show this one. Oh, well, okay, we'll do that one. And so Lisa, bless her heart, she talked to Chef Neelish, and she asked him if he would be, she told him that we had a blog and a YouTube channel, and she asked him if he would be willing to do a cooking demonstration for us and allow us to videotape it and put it on our YouTube channel. And he was eager to do it. And so he said, what do you want me to make? Well, he had made some gluten-free quesadillas for me and regular quesadillas for everyone else. And so I asked him if he would make those, because that was really delicious. Because I told him, so many of your recipes I want to have when I get home so I can recreate them. And then he made this wonderful dessert that was like a cross between a chocolate pudding and a chocolate cake. And so he also demonstrated that and gave us the recipes as well. And so soon we will be
what's going on here?
Yeah, and so here we are. I believe you took this picture, Lisa.
Yes.
So in this picture, Tom was videotaping. The man with the camera is someone that we met on the cruise, and Lisa had met him on a previous cruise. This is Trevor, and he is a photographer. And of course, we did not have any of our camera equipment with us. All we had were our iPhones.
So he loaned us his Steadicam gimbal, which is in my hands behind there.
And then he was like, well, can I come watch? And we were like, sure, you can come watch. So it was really a group effort putting this together. And it was just so much fun. And Chef Neelish he was great on camera. He really should have his own YouTube channel. And it was just an amazing experience and so much fun. And so we're very excited to be able to share that video with you all. And he was so excited that we loved his recipes, and they were really, really delicious.
Yes.
Also, because Lisa has been plant-based for a long time, she's been a travel agent for quite some time. She has contacts literally all over the world. And she put us in contact with Sia Hurst, who lives near Athens, Greece. And she was able to arrange with Sia to cook food for us, because we had a couple days before we got on the cruise, and we had a day after the cruise before we were leaving to come home. And so Lisa arranged a Zoom call with Sia, and we were able to talk to Sia about our food needs. And she's whole food, plant-based, SOS free. She has her nutrition certificate from the T. Colin Campbell Center, as well as nutrition and healthy living program at eCornell. I mean, so she was just like the perfect person.
And
for
those of you that get the newsletter, I included links to her website, links to her retreat that she's holding next May in Greece. She is starting a book club next December 12th featuring Chef Bravo from right here.
No, that's an interview with him. Her book club is different.
An interview with him.
Yeah.
And then she has a book club. She's got a lot going on at 6D is her company. And I need to actually add that link into the YouTube show notes. I'll grab it off the other one and I'll add that. And
so that was just such a huge benefit that Lisa was able to arrange for us. This is some pictures of the food that she made for us. It was absolutely delicious. It was whole food, plant-based, SOS free. She even made extra things because she likes to sprout. And so she was like, oh, you guys need some microgreens. And, so she even brought us extra food for that. And then and this was just beautiful. Look at all that color. I mean, we were not suffering at all. We had such amazing food that she made for us. It was just incredible. And here's some, you want to share some of the pictures, some of the highlights
We can skim through
real
these, yeah.
quick. We'll just show you guys because it was such an
This is
amazing trip.
Santorini. Still Santorini, I think. Lots of white with blue roofs.
Yes.
That's the clue.
The little windmills, those were so amazing.
That's Mykonos.
That's Mykonos. Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Oh,
And I
look
think
at that.
that's Mosambasia.
Yes. That
in
was
the
like one of
Peloponnese
my favorites.
Peninsula.
And
That's
if you travel with Lisa, Lisa's a really great photographer. And so she was taking pictures of us all the time. It was great. And just, you know,
Cobblestone
the
Street.
cobblestone streets, it was just
Yeah, and this
so
is real
beautiful.
stuff from like 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And look at this sidewalk. This was so amazing. Okay, so Tom looked at this picture and he said, Tami, you look like a little person. I said, well, I was surrounded by tall people
It's not
on
that,
this trip.
it's not that Tammy's small, it's just that Lisa's tall.
Yes, I am.
But look at that sidewalk was so beautiful.
We're looking at the sidewalk.
Yes,
Okay,
it's so
not how short you are.
No, not how short I am, how artistic it was. It was so beautiful. Here you got back into the food pictures somehow.
Okay.
That
All
was
right.
it was just so amazing.
Okay. I think that was the little,
Here, don't show that one.
Oh, this
That was
one?
cute. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Look at that.
That's Santorini from the other side.
It was just an amazing trip.
Oh, this is the one where Lisa stood way out on the edge of that castle overlooking the 1,000-foot drop into the ocean and hung onto a piece of fence so she wouldn't fall.
to get the perfect shot. That's why I said she's the travel agent extraordinaire, because she goes the extra mile.
Okay. Oh, there's your flowers.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. Yeah, so y'all can come over and we'll do a video slideshow. There you go.
So Tami, can
Just-
I jump in and brag about Lisa
Yes.
on something else
Yes,
that
please
she's
do.
done, at least on
Uh-oh.
the trip that we did our first trip together was to Germany and did the river cruise up to Amsterdam. And so there were a lot of before and after arrangements, travel, flight. She was amazing. So you tell her what you found and she'll say, that's great, stick with that. Or she'll tell you what she has. And so just from the moment you leave your house to the moment you're back at your house, things can, you can get a lot of assistance.
Absolutely. And we discovered the same thing. She really held our hands. She was texting us and emailing us and saying, did you do this? Did you do that? You need to do this.
There are a few extra forms right now.
There was quite a lot of extra things to do to fly internationally, what with the pandemic going. But you guided us and made sure we had everything in place, so everything went so smoothly. Plus, you knew all the right tour companies to contact when we, for our time before getting on the ship, finding a wonderful hotel for us. I mean, it was all seamless. So thank you so much.
Very welcome. It's a pleasure traveling with you. I would go. You want to go in 2 weeks? No.
No, I'm too tired.
We
I need a little
are
breather.
almost back to our own time zone now. In the chat feed, as you guys have been visiting, there's been a discussion about, of course, cruises, but other things that folks might do too. Plant-based journey, plant-based adventures, plant-based vacations. I saw mentioned that Brittany Giroudi is planning a plant-based camping trip coming up sometime. I don't know the particulars on it. Somebody made mention of it in the chat, but I'm sure that she has information on her website.
Tom, I have information.
So we always want to keep our ears open for that sort of
Wait a
thing.
second.
Wanda, you have information?
Yeah, I'm working with Brittany on the camping trip, and the NHA has booked a shelter so we can have a communal time together. And that camping trip is going to be at Rocky Gap. I think that's in Maryland, and it's going to be right a month after the conference, July 28th. It's a Thursday, and we're having the NHA picnic on Saturday, July 30th. And I think Brittany and
It's
Mark
right there
are
in
heading
Maryland,
home.
Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah, Brittany
You
and
guys
Mark are
can
heading
come
home
stay
on the
with me and then
31st.
go.
So the very nice thing about this campsite, I think you can just look up Rocky Gap Camping, is that there is a large hotel there. So if you're not a camper and you still want to go and enjoy time at this park, there's a camp. I booked an RV site for my husband and I, and it's pretty primitive. There were only a few that had water, and I got one of the last ones. So if you're interested, look into it soon. And a lot of people are just going to be in tents, so you'll have
Okay.
everything from people tent camping to RV to the resort.
Okay, so yeah, so anytime somebody has an event like that to share, shoot us an email, and we'll share it in our community. One of our moderators, Randy Dolan, was asking, well, why doesn't somebody come up with an Amtrak plant-based adventure across America? That would be some interesting logistics, but it makes me think, that there are different events and things going on around the country. So, and when we pick up on them, we try to share them.
We do.
So, and a lot of our information comes from our viewers and our subscribers.
Mhm.
So if you have something you have something for us to share, please do let us know. We're planning on some time in the future, post-COVID, of having a Nutmeg Notebook gathering in Northern California. But that's not even in the planning stage right now, the way things are. But it's something we were starting to talk about before the pandemic. So.
Right. Well, I know that both of you are very experienced travelers, and you don't let your food choices stand in the way of going places and doing things. And I thought it would be fun if we did share some of those tips with the viewers, because they can use them whether they're going on a road trip or they're doing international travel. And one thing that Lisa and I both did for the trip was we did take some vinegars with us to use. I found that I didn't have to use it a lot because I could get fresh citrus at every meal. So I was able to use that quite often on my salads, but it was nice to have these along. These are from California Balsamic, but also Dr. Furman also has small bottles, and you can take these in your carry-on. These will go through TSA. And so it's just nice, to have a little something to add to a salad or some vegetables. And then the zip top containers, these came in really handy because they are reusable and they're collapsible. So I did use these to take things with us. And then, of course, you guys know we love the Wellbeing bars and the Wellbeing nuggets. And so Tom packed these in his carry-on so that we had these. And these were also nice just to, tuck something into our day pack when we would go on the excursions, in case we, got hungry before we got back to the cruise ship.
We were
What did
never
you wanna
hungry.
say? We were never
never
hungry. We were never hungry. And then, for the trip going, I just used some disposable containers just to build us really delicious salads. And I just, of course, this isn't the size we would eat at home, but it was what I could do for a carry-on. And we just packed it really full. And then, of course, we did take some Mary's Gone crackers, not the big box, but, we broke it down and took some of those with us as well. So, Wanda, do you want to share some of your tips?
Sure. One of them, Tami, I got from you. We didn't talk about it earlier, but you have on your website the bag that fits real nice over your carry-on that is it partially insulated? And I pack that, and that's typically enough for the day I travel and the whole rest of the day. I like to have enough for the first day because you don't know what time you're going to arrive and you're tired and you really don't want to, at least my experience, we have not wanted to start looking for food when we're tired. I do as much as I can beforehand. Fortunately, like Lisa, the NHA has contacts, and when Mark and I went to Greece, there is a doctor that is an NHA doctor, Dr. Koumantakis. The husband has passed away. The wife is a doctor. The daughter is a doctor, and they're in Athens, and they met us at a whole food plant-based restaurant and told us everywhere to go. So rely on friends first, rely on Google second, and then I always pack. Here's some of the things. Give me 1 second that I always pack that is easy to travel with. And it is, these are on the Furman website, and they are actually his daughter's, doctor's daughter's oatmeal. And this is carrot cake, peanut butter, and strawberry shortcake. You would need something to pour it in. You could put water, but if you can make, if you can get a little bit of plant-based milk at a grocery store. And it is amazing what you can get anywhere you go. My hardest time was traveling in Israel. I couldn't read any of the labels. So that was an interesting challenge. Like you do with the well-being, I use those too. And just another option is Dr. Furman has some bars that are great for hiking. And I have a couple left. I've used most of them, but Leafside has great dried ones, and I use that on the European River Cruise. And I have this particular bowl, and it has a lid, and on a plane, in a hotel room, wherever you're at, you can get steaming water, and you put your package in there with water. It tells you how long to let it steep, and you can pack the package right in the bowl. I have some bamboo silverware that I travel with. And those are great fallbacks, and I always come home with some. I've rarely used everything. And Mark's favorite thing is to find a farmer's market when we travel. And I know in Germany there were lots, in Amsterdam. But like you said, when you're on the cruise, it is amazing how many excursions and what they work into your day where you're not missing the meals on the cruise ship. I don't even know how that works. But it works
because
really well.
Oftentimes we would get back in time to, be able to go up to the deck where they had like an outdoor grill. And we would just go there and tell them, well, we wouldn't even have to tell them after the first day because they knew we were the people eating the vegan food. And they would, and so they would go get whatever the chef had prepared for us, even if it was, 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon. And it was great. So Tom did link to that container that Wanda showed you guys. It's in the description. And we also have a link to Dr. Furman's website if you're interested in any of the products that she showed. And we have not tried those oatmeal.
Dr. Furman link will be on your blog.
You didn't have it to put in there?
I don't have one to put on YouTube, but it's on your.
It's on the blog.
It's on your most recent blog post. You have a Dr. Furman link in your.
I do. I should.
Yeah, the Dr. Furman link is a little art banner, and I can't put those on YouTube. It's a different code, and I have to do a whole other thing to get a text link. So go to nutmegnotebook.com, the most recent blog post, scroll down until you see Dr. Furman. Another thing we did take in the little, one of the zip tops there was I took my oat milk and I put some oat milk powder in a water bottle.
The Joy
and
oat milk powder.
Shook it up to put, so I carried it dry. So I had my my plant milk with me. And then I put that on my oats a couple of mornings.
Yeah, because the Joy Company has an oat powder base to make oat milk. And one ingredient is just oats. It's organic, gluten-free, certified oats. And so we did take that with us, and then we could just add water to it. And we had oat milk wherever we happened to be, whether it was on the plane, in our room, wherever we were. So Lisa, do you want to share some of your tips?
Sure. I don't bring the travel size. I just pack a large vinegar and share. I bring it to the meals. And so Napa Valley Grand is one of our favorites. And then I have a slightly different bowl for my leaf side. And all I need to do is go to on an airplane. If I am not able to get a meal, I can just ask them to put 2 cups of hot water in this bowl. And also I've done it at airports where they give me the water for free. I'll go to a coffee shop and say, may I have 2 cups of water? So interesting.
Great, I love that.
Yes.
There was a question from one of our viewers. What size carry-ons are you folks carrying? For Tami and I carried an Osprey, day pack, a backpack for like a daytime hike, not an overnight pack, but just a little, I think it's a 22-liter day pack, something like that. And then Tami carries just a standard size roll-on
Travel Pro
carry-on bag, the biggest one that's legal to go in the little test box that they have. And we did have them overfull. We were over prepared. We brought food home. But that's the 2 pieces that we did carry to make sure that we had plenty of food. So, we were prepared if there was a food desert on the ship. It just didn't happen. So we had a lot of extra food left over because we were so welcome.
Well, I wasn't worried about the cruise because I knew that Lisa had already taken care of that.
Partly is if we got stranded in an airport on some kind of issue. If there was a weather event or a TSA was on strike, or because some of that stuff was going on before we left in some parts of the world with other airlines.
Right. Lisa, can you talk about the leaf side meals? Oh, and you've got a cooler to show us too.
Well, remember, I brought one of these because sometimes the hotel refrigerators aren't big enough. So I actually brought it collapsed, but when Clayton and I travel, we frequently take frozen food in this that keeps our other food that refrigerated, any kind of perishables. And you had a question about leaf side.
Yeah, do you just want to tell people where to get it? And it's Dr. Greger endorsed, I guess.
And Dr. Goldhammer too.
Dr. Goldhammer.
I think it's, you could just Google leaf side. And it's a subscription basis and the minimum is 12, but you can turn the subscription off. But one thing I will tell you is that it's important to do it maybe 2 months before travel, because it may take them 3 weeks to fulfill it and get it to you. I typically get it sooner, but I think the smoky pea is one of my favorites. And I think you said that as well. Clayton likes the Tex-Mex. We like the curry. And so they've got, and they have some new ones. I'm trying some new ones. I have more shipped to my home within days. It's on its way.
Yeah, and there's no trouble getting those through TSA or taking them into another country because they're like dehydrated and sealed in that bag.
We have not had any difficulty. Prior to us going to Greece, Clayton and I were in Croatia for 2 weeks, and that was on a Sea Dream cruise, and that was lovely. And they have a full vegan menu. It's not SOS free, but they did make a lot of special provisions for us. And when we came into JFK, we forgot that there was an apple or 2 in his backpack, and dogs found him at the airport and along with the security guard. So they didn't complain about the leaf side at all. So we have been stopped for food, bringing food back into
when
our
we
country.
got home and I was unpacking my backpack, and the very bottom of my backpack was 1 red apple and 1 yellow apple, which I think both came actually off the ship.
Right. They
So you
sneak in
forgot.
there.
So I seriously violated California state law somewhere there. So I quickly ate them both
There you go.
and destroyed all the evidence.
Yeah. So I've never tried the leaf side products, but I did call them. I was hoping I could get something like second day air or something, to take. But when I called them, they told me, oh no, we need at least 3 weeks lead time right now. So I'm going to order some just so that we can have them on hand and try them. But I'm wondering about, like some of the dehydrated foods that, like backpackers and hikers use. Maybe some of that could work too. Sometimes you can get like a bean mixture. It's beans, except that would probably need to be somewhat cooked, where these don't have to be cooked. You add the hot water and then they just set.
Yes, you let them sit for 10 minutes. Yes, they're very convenient. And
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that have started using them.
Okay. Well, that's on my list next. My next thing to try. Any more questions for us, Tom?
I made a list. I started writing things down that you guys do. And that's the fun thing about plant-based travel, is that we learn from each other.
We do. And so these are my quinoa banana oat muffins. And so we always take these with us when we travel too. So I make them and then I freeze them and then I pack them frozen. So, we do this and then we do the frozen hummus. And these are really hearty. So we can actually make a meal out of having one of these and like a piece of fruit, because with the quinoa in them, they're really high on protein. They have the oats. I put some dried fruit in the ones, for traveling. And then when we get to a hotel room or like on the cruise, then I just put them in the refrigerator, and just keep them. And, we empty the, whatever they have in the refrigerator, the cans of soda and the liquor. And we take that out and, set it in a cupboard and utilize the refrigerator.
Right. I did that on the cruise ship as well. So great. And the winds, Wanda, you're muted.
I'm muted. Okay, there. I said, I don't know if you've done this with Leafside, but I also take, a few, maybe 4 to 6 Japanese sweet potatoes, not cooked. And then when I get to the hotel room, there's usually microwave a potato, and then pour some of that sweet split pea soup over that. It makes it heartier and so simple, so easy to find a spot to throw a few potatoes in your luggage.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And that was thing I did miss on the cruise. I did miss potatoes, but one night at dinner, I just asked our server, do they have baked potatoes in the oven for the dinner meals? And or in the kitchen? And she said, yes. And I said, could you get me a potato? I said, you better bring one for Tom too, because Tom's going to be jealous. And so she did. She brought out 2 big baked potatoes, and that just tasted so good.
Say hello to Trevor and Steve. They're watching.
Trevor and Steve are watching. Hi, guys. So we met them on the cruise, and they live in San Jose. They're not very far from us. So that was such a treat. We had such a good time with them. That's what I loved about, the intimacy of the smaller cruise, is that we really got to know people. And that was so much fun.
Yes. Yes. And I enjoy traveling with people who are plant-based and also people who are not plant-based. And it's fun to have different experiences.
Yep, absolutely. It is. More questions, Tom?
I think okay. That's a Bravo question. We'll cover that later. Carry bags. I think we're caught up on stuff.
Fantastic.
So
Well, thank you for inviting us to be with you today.
Oh, it was our pleasure. We just really want to share with people that there's wonderful opportunities out there that you may not be aware of, that you can take advantage of and have safe travels and be able to adhere to your healthy diet and make new friends. Because we made so many new friends on this trip. It was just an amazing experience. Wouldn't you agree? You need to come on camera.
Okay. But we, to close off, we can just show very quickly those our little. Do we have our last little meal there, or?
Oh, we could. You could show that. So we were very fortunate when Sia and her husband Dominique found out that we had an extra day in Athens before our plane was going to leave, they decided to take off work that day, and they came and picked us up at our hotel and took us sightseeing. And of course, she made a beautiful picnic lunch for us.
So here, let me make this
You make
full
it
screen over here.
okay.
And up here, I'm going to try and zoom in. Up here, getting big here, that is the Temple of Poseidon, which in its time was one of 3 great works of architecture, along with the Parthenon and the third one.
So we did get to go and visit it as well.
So here we are on the beach having a whole food plant-based picnic, looking up at the Temple of Poseidon. So we thought that was
Very special.
Yeah.
It was very relaxing. We just, sat on the beach for hours and ate and visited, and it was just so much fun. And they are actually hosting a retreat near there in May, and they've rented this huge, beautiful house. They took us by to show us where it was, and they're going to be doing cooking classes and yoga and meditation, and there's going to be educational classes about a whole food plant-based lifestyle, as well as sightseeing.
And then you want to finish off with the photos with who's in this?
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm not on camera. You're up here on camera.
Oh.
So Lisa on the left, myself with the light reflecting strangely off my glasses, Tami, and then Elise.
Mhm.
Elise Jones.
Who's married to she's married to Dr. Klaper, and she's just lovely. Lovely. And we were missing Beth in this picture.
We also had Beth Summers with us. It was a very nice group. And then Trevor and Stephen, we enjoyed also.
Yeah. So it was so much fun.
Tami, can I share
Yes.
when you showed Elise Jones, it made me think, for those that don't know, on Tuesday night, Dr. Klaper is doing a free Q&A for the NHA. And if you private message me, or I don't know if you're able, I can get you the link, Tami, and you can put it there. But you register, and once you register, you'll get a link and you'll get to watch this powerful presentation that he does on climate change. You'll get to ask a question. Then you do that at your leisure, and you come on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and he'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he'll answer your questions.
Okay. If you want to text me the link to that, then I can post that on my Nutmeg Notebook Facebook page.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yeah. That'll be really good, because Dr. Klaper is amazing.
Yes.
Right. And it's a little bit of a different talk, being primarily on climate change. And that's something that when you hear it, you'll hear the passion in his voice.
Yeah.
That sounds great. We're looking forward to that Tuesday night.
Okay.
All right.
We have a couple of housekeeping things to wrap up after we're done with the ladies.
Okay.
Yes.
So
thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tami. You and Tom are always so supportive of everything the National Health Association does, and how nice that we get to all work together. It's wonderful. I appreciate the time.
I can't wait for our next adventure.
Right.
I know, Alaska. I'm excited.
Yes.
That's going to be fun. No, we're very happy to be part of the plant-based community, and it's wonderful to be able to support the work that everyone's doing.
And Lisa and her husband will both be on the cruise to Baja, so
yes,
it will not be a very large group.
We have
and
a nice
get that
group.
intimate experience again. So anybody who's interested, I would jump on that.
And that one is less expensive. That's one nice thing about Baja. It's a little bit less expensive than some of the others. The small ships are more expensive than the very, very large mega ships. But it's a difference that I think is very worthwhile.
I would agree.
Okay.
So,
Thanks
all right.
so much.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank
We'll be in
you.
thank you for
touch.
joining us. We'll be in touch soon.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So how's everybody doing in the chat feed, Tom?
Let me, there we are. Okay. I have to actually go back to it. It's not on screen right now. What are you guys doing over here in the chat feed? What is happening? Okay.
Everybody's saying thank you.
Yes, Jesse, that was a perfect vacation. So, okay, yeah.
Oh,
thank you.
Trevor says it was a pleasure meeting you all. Well, we enjoyed meeting you and Stephen
Yeah.
so much.
Trevor, I want that one picture in Santorini, the one that's got the blue scarf in it. I want to have that in our
That
library.
wasn't in the photo
Maybe
share.
he's gonna patent that one. That was like the best
It was
picture.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite the photographer.
Okay.
So
So-
if you go on vacation, you want to go with Trevor and Stephen so that you can
Get
share
great photos.
his
Okay.
great photos.
All right.
It's amazing.
Okay, unrelated to cruises, housekeeping. Those of you that follow us know that we tripped across a few days ago this incredible deal on Breville Smart Oven Air.
Oh.
They are gone. We have run them out.
When did you check and see?
It happened today.
Oh, did it?
I saw somebody in the chat early on that they're now, like it says, available in December or something.
Wow.
So, or look where you can buy them. And so the price that was there and the availability is now kapoof, which was exactly what I was afraid of, which is exactly why I messaged that out more than once, because we hear a lot of comments with people that they love that machine, but they just don't want to pay the regular price for it. And this was such a discount. So we were able to help quite a number of folks get it at
Yes.
a much more market-friendly price.
Yeah. So congratulations
But
to everyone
evidently
who got
that
it.
party is over. So for now, we will be watching what goes on Black Friday. I don't know that anything is. I looked to try and see if there was anything going on with the machine on Black Friday, but I don't see it. So there was a question about cleaning the thing. We'll probably be doing a follow-up video.
So really, we just use soap and water.
Yeah,
is
because we
mostly
cook
what we use.
plant-based, and so nothing really sticks to it.
Yeah, because we're not using oil in it. And we did an Amazon Live video where, and you can watch the replay, so you can tell them how to find that. And we showed a lot of pictures of the different things that we make in it. We
Yeah.
talked about it. And so if you ordered one and you're new to having the Breville Smart Oven Air,
There's a lot of cooking ideas, recipe
Yes.
ideas, all of which can be searched and found on the blog. So there's a lot of examples in that Amazon Live that are rooted in actual posts on the nutmegnotebook.com blog site. You can find that video by going to amazon.com/shop/nutmegnotebook, which is in the show notes. Scroll down to the bottom and look at past Amazon live streams. It'll be the first one. And
then also on our YouTube channel here, you can do a search for Breville Smart Oven Air. We have a really old video that we made when we were first making videos. The information in it is great. The sound quality and the video quality isn't that great, but if you can just bear with it, that is a very informative video, I think, to help you get familiarize yourself with the Breville Smart Oven Air and have a good idea on how to use it. So, and I did a cooking demo in that video as well. And then we have videos that we've made since then showing you different things that you can make in it. So
yeah, that video was published. When was that published?
Where does it tell you?
In here, it was published in September of 2017.
Okay.
And it has had 231,700 views. So it's been one of the go-to Breville Smart Oven Air in depth, but it's before we had a tripod. Trevor, don't watch the video.
No, Trevor, don't watch it.
It's a lot of this, and it's like there's an earthquake the whole time. I had no idea what I was doing. The information was great. Tami did a terrific job.
I did.
And she rewatched that recently. She says, Tom, I think because I've mentioned a few times, because I'm so embarrassed by the low production value, we need to redo that video. And she doesn't, she's already done it. She doesn't want to go back and do the same thing over again. She watched it. She says, Tom, I think we need to redo the video.
Oh.
So
I was like, the content's great, but we could improve on everything
yeah,
else.
so with nearly 250,000 views, it is our highest viewed, worst production value video. So
And people still write and tell us how great it was. So how best video they found on the Breville.
on the Breville.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we can do it again. But
Right.
but anyway, congratulations to everyone who did get it. That's totally awesome. What else?
I think we're caught up here on the, I'm jumping back. I only have the one screen, so I'm having to jump back and forth.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to go on the Alaska cruise with us, there are still some spots available. And everyone that we've talked to who has taken in a cruise, the Alaska cruise, says it's fantastic.
Yeah, there was some discussion about the price of it earlier in the chat feed, and I justified it because it's a once in a lifetime bucket list.
It is.
Yeah.
That was when you retired. That was the
one of the, I was talking about it
place-
before this ever came up.
yeah, one place that you wanted to go was Alaska. He
Yeah.
was like, I really want to go
Yeah.
to Alaska.
And one piece on a planned trip like this is how it happens. If we didn't have this opportunity, it might not ever happen for me. And so in the big scheme of life, it is a happening deal. It's a ship that you can jump on it and then.
Well, and
and
I
get
love
ready.
that Lisa and Wanda have done all the work.
Yeah.
You know,
so
they've put it all together for us.
the
We know
food's
that
gonna
the
be handled.
food is going to be handled. We know the excursions are going to be great, you know.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it's just, it's a slam dunk. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Okay.
I
well,
like easy.
Yeah. We all do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think if there's nothing else, folks, we need to probably wrap it up. If you haven't done so, please give us a thumbs up. I know this was a lot about, traveling stuff, but it's a big subject. So
It is.
cover what we can.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to share with people that you can travel plant-based successfully.
Yeah.
And we've done it, without having Lisa plan everything. It just takes a lot more work on our end to be able to do that. It's a lot of
Randy's starting a GoFundMe for the Bahamas.
all right. There
That's
you
the
go,
spirit.
Randy. That's the spirit. I love it. That is awesome. That's so fun. If you can, we love to do road trips, and that's pretty easy to do plant-based because we try to book Airbnbs or hotels that
And we use a lot of the
that
same
have-
techniques on road trips that
We
we were
do.
talking about today.
we take all the same stuff with us plus more, because then I can, we can take boxes of beans, and we can do a lot of different things. And we have a couple of travel videos.
Rolling down to 395 bacon potatoes in the back seat.
That's right.
Yeah.
In our Road Pro.
It gives a whole new meaning to you want to go out and get baked.
You're so funny. Oh, Tom.
Maybe I'm a little.
Yeah, so we do have some videos where we've shared how to eat healthy anywhere, and we show you some of the different appliances that we take with us. And we like to take a small Instant Pot with us, and we can cook just about anything anywhere
Mhm.
when we do that. So
It's fun in the car when you drive along and the cooking odors and you start getting the
it
smell.
smells so good.
Yeah.
That one time we stopped, it was raining, but we stopped at a park and we had our hot lunch
Uh-huh.
because we'd heated it up in the Road Pro.
Right.
And it was just like, can you believe it? Here we are sitting in the rain and we're eating
Having
a
a hot
hot
lunch.
lunch, and that was perfectly
It's like
healthy.
camping meals always taste better for some reason.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, listen,
So Mary Jo says, so happy you're back on Sunday evening. Thank you so much for all the great travel tips. You are welcome. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for watching.
yeah, and sorry
We-
we caused anybody any concern by disappearing suddenly like that, but it was sudden for us too. So,
Yeah, we just didn't, whoo, it was a lot of work to
put it together.
put it together in a week, but we did it, and we're so glad we did. We had such a great time.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And we did miss you all. And we would have liked to have done a show last Sunday, but I was
We were
coming
s-
off the patches for motion sickness after the cruise, and I had side effects to going off of them.
Yeah.
And
She spent the
so,
day on the couch. She wasn't going to be on camera. And I took a
Yeah.
very long nap myself because I still hadn't gotten over the jet lag. I wasn't nauseous or anything, but I just was not on California time.
yeah.
So-
So it's taken us a long time to get past the jet lag this
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're back. We'll be on again next Sunday. If you didn't hear this morning, we did a Facebook Live and on our Nutmeg Notebook Facebook page, and we did share with the people there that for the time being, we're not going to be doing the Sunday morning walk and talk
On Facebook.
on Facebook. So, but we will still be here on Sunday
And
night.
Tami will still be posting on Facebook. We just we don't have time for that hour and a half on Sunday mornings when we're trying to do a bunch of other stuff dealing with events on Sunday. So.
Right.
Okay.
So anyway, I think let's see, there was something else
Oh.
that I think that we told somebody we would mention. Oh, I know, California Balsamic. Thomas called the other day, and they will be at the Fall Harvest Festival in Sacramento, California at Cal Expo this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
3 days.
It'll be 3 days. And so you will be able to go there and purchase vinegars.
But if you're
He
local,
said, if you are local and you want to purchase several bottles, he would appreciate it if you would call him by like Tuesday and tell him what you want. And he will put the order together because they take a limited quantity of vinegars with them when they go do those road shows, because as you can imagine, it's quite a lot of work to pack those up and take them. And so call him and give him your order over the phone, and he will pack that order for you and bring it. And then you can just come and pick it up and you'll save the shipping. And then you'll also get to see him.
and you'll have a better chance of getting what you want because he'll be prepared for you.
That's right. That's right.
Because they can only bring so much in.
Yeah. He said if somebody wants multiple bottles of vinegar, just please place your order in advance and do that by calling him. And so that should be fun. So
CaliforniaBalsamics.com.
that's right.
Okay.
And they'll be there this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they are packing on Wednesday, leaving on Thursday
So
because
call tomorrow.
they'll be there Thursday to be setting up. So call tomorrow
Yeah.
and Tuesday by the latest.
Okay.
Okay. I knew there was something. Somebody asked me.
Good
to-
job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, you guys, I'm Tami,
And I'm Tom.
and we help you get healthy and stay healthy one meal at a time. Bye for now.
Bye. Which button am I pushing?
Well, honey, you're gonna have to figure that out.
Well, we have the Zoom configuration going here, so it's different than just YouTube. I have to figure out which
How
end
about
button.
end stream? Does that work?
We're streaming from Zoom over there.
Over there. So
I'm
you
gonna
have to go
click,
over there.
you guys, I'm gonna click end stream and whatever happens is what happens. Good night.